So the last topic for you is absolute convergence and conditional convergence. I explain what is absolute convergence, conditional convergence, and after this I have to take one test for you, that is an online test, and it will be MCQ, model will be MCQ, multiple choice questions, and that will be done online. And after this topic, this video, I try to solve some model that is most what is that? Multiple choice questions, MCQ questions. What is this topic? Conditional and absolute convergence. Absolute convergence and conditional convergence. Conditional convergence. Two definitions. When you say that the series absolutely converges and conditionally convergent. Absolutely convergent means, suppose sigma un is a series, any series, then sigma un is said to be absolutely convergent. Absolutely convergent if sigma mod un is convergent. Sigma mod un is convergent. Understand definition first, then I give the example for this. Absolute convergence means, suppose sigma un is any series I have taken, then sigma un is said to be absolutely convergent if sigma mod un is convergent. Suppose sigma un is a series of positive terms, because we have taken positive term series, then alternating series. Alternating series means positive negative terms also. Infinite number of positive terms, infinite number of negative terms it contains. That is called alternating series. But we have discussed this series of positive terms in detail. Different tests, practical comparison test, D'Alembert ratio test, Cauchy's root test, then Rabi's test, Cauchy's integral test. All these are for positive term series. Sigma un is positive term series. Then the absolute convergence and convergence has no difference. In case of positive term series, absolute convergence is nothing but convergence itself. But this plays important role in case of a series which contains infinite number of negative terms as well. Therefore, a series sigma un is said to be absolutely convergent if sigma mod un is convergent. But in case of sigma un is alternating series, then it plays important role. Sigma mod un plays important role. Now, example, the series 1 minus 1 by 2 square minus 1 by 2 cube plus etc. is absolutely convergent. First understand only what is absolute convergence. It is absolutely convergent because sigma mod un is, say mod un means you have to take positive terms here. Mod un is sigma mod un is, it is equal to 1 plus 1 by 2, 1 by 2 square, 1 by 2 cube, etc. It is a geometric series. It is a geometric series with r is equal to 1 by 2 less than 1. We have discussed the convergence of geometric series in detail in the beginning of the infinite series. Now if you take mod un, sigma mod un, it becomes 1 half 1 by 2 square etc. it is a geometric series with r is half less than 1, therefore converges. Hence, this sigma un converges absolutely. Now one more definition. This is first definition, important, absolute convergence. Second definition is conditional convergence. Conditional convergence. Outside very heavy rain is there. I think there is no problem. I am audible here. You can all of you hear my voice. Conditional convergence means a series sigma un is said to be conditionally convergent. If sigma un is convergent, but sigma mod un is divergent. This topic is completely only these two definitions, based on these two definitions: absolute convergence, conditional convergence. When do you say that series is absolutely convergent? If sigma mod un is convergent. One example is there, absolutely convergent. And when do you say that conditionally convergent? A series sigma un is said to be conditionally convergent if sigma un is convergent but sigma mod un is divergent. Understand this definition: sigma un is convergent, sigma mod un is divergent, then it is said to be conditionally convergent. Example for this is, consider conditional convergence. Example, sigma un is 1 minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4 etc. It is alternating series, which is alternating series. It is how to write this one? This is written in terms of our notation. Sigma un is here minus 1 raised to sigma un is sigma minus 1 raised to n minus 1 by n, and n is equal to 1 to infinity. Am I correct here? N is 1, you will get 1. N is 2, you will get minus half. This gives negative sign for 2. For odd terms, negative, odd terms positive, even terms negative. Now this is a alternating series. Sigma un is minus 1 raised to n minus 1 upon n. It converges. You have studied alternating series. What is the important test in alternating series? Leibniz test. By Leibniz test, it converges because by Leibniz test. If I write only Leibniz test, then it is sufficient, I think. What is Leibniz test? Leibniz test is sigma minus 1 raised to n minus 1 Vn converges if, what is the test? Vn is monotone decreasing and limit Vn n tends to infinity is 0. Then sigma Vn minus 1 raised to n minus 1 Vn converges. Now in this case, it converges because what is Vn here? It is sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity minus 1 raised to n minus 1 Vn. Therefore Vn is 1 upon n, and it is monotonically decreasing. Monotone decreasing. Because Vn plus 1 is 1 upon n plus 1. N plus 1 is greater than n, So 1 upon n plus 1 is less than 1 upon n. So Vn plus 1 is less than Vn. So monotone decreasing. And limit Vn is 0. Limit Vn n tends to infinity is 0. 1 upon n tends to infinity is 0. So by Leibniz test, this is convergent. What is that? Sigma minus 1 raised to n minus 1 un, or sigma un is sigma minus 1 raised to n vn converges. But consider sigma mod un. Sigma mod un is 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 1 by 4 plus etc. Sigma 1 upon n. Sigma 1 upon n. This diverges. Yes, anybody? Why it diverges? Because it diverges because it is sigma 1 upon n raised to p, where p is equal to 1. And this diverges if p less than or equal to 1, converges if p greater than 1. This you have studied in positive term series, and this is called auxiliary series, and we have made use of this auxiliary series. We have taken the use of this auxiliary series in testing convergence of many series. And this is sigma 1 upon n raised to p less than or equal to 1 diverges, p greater than 1 converges. Here p is equal to 1, therefore diverges. Hence, what is your conclusion? Sigma un is convergent, but sigma mod un is divergent. Therefore, this series is conditionally convergent. Conditionally convergent. I think all of you followed the definition. What is conditional convergence? When do you say that sigma un is conditionally convergent? If sigma un converges, but sigma mod un diverges, then it is called conditionally convergent. Now one theorem is there, very important theorem. Every absolutely convergent series is convergent. Every absolutely convergent series is convergent, but the converse not necessarily true. To prove that converse is not true, always we give example. Because for disprove, always one example is sufficient. But to prove, one example is not sufficient. Generally, we have to prove that one. Every absolutely convergent series is convergent, but converse is not true. For that, we give example. Proof, first part is, what is the first part? Suppose sigma un is any series, and it is absolutely convergent. Absolutely convergent. Now what you have to prove? You have to prove that it is absolutely convergent. Therefore, absolutely convergent series is convergent. We have taken sigma un is absolutely convergent. Therefore, we have to prove that it is convergent. This implies sigma mod un is convergent by definition of absolute convergence. By Cauchy's general principle of convergence, sigma mod un is convergent means we use here Cauchy's general principle of convergence. What is that? By Cauchy's general principle of convergence, for epsilon greater than 0, there exists a positive integer m such that mod un plus 1 plus un plus 2 plus so on mod un plus p mod less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to m and for all p greater than or equal to 0. Correct? Because sigma un is absolutely convergent, therefore by general principle of convergence we have this one. This implies mod un plus 1 mod un plus 2 plus etc mod un plus p is less than epsilon for all this n greater than or equal to m. But mod of un plus 1 plus un plus 2 plus so on un plus p is less than or equal to mod un plus 1 mod un plus 2 plus etc mod un plus p. Now this is less than epsilon because from this it is less than epsilon. This implies here mod un plus 1 un plus 2 un plus p is less than epsilon means sigma un is convergent. See, only thing is we have used Cauchy's general principle of convergence. So if sigma un is absolutely convergent, then sigma un is convergent. But converse is not true. To prove that converse is not true, I take same example there. We have taken this example. To prove that the converse is not true. What is the converse? Converse is if sigma un is convergent, then sigma mod un is convergent. That is converse. But that is not true. Example is not true. For example, sigma un is 1 minus half plus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4 so on is convergent. Just I explained this problem in detail. By Leibniz test it converges, but sigma mod un is 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4 etc. It is sigma 1 upon n is divergent because p is equal to 1. Therefore, sigma un is convergent but sigma mod un is divergent. Hence, the converse is not true. So, what is the theorem? Every absolutely convergent series is convergent, but converse is not true. Converse is, if sigma un is convergent, then sigma mod un may not be convergent. Some examples are there. I leave that examples as exercise. Try to solve this. I take one example here. Test the convergence of log 2 minus log 3 by 2 plus log 4 by 3 minus log 5 by 4 plus so on. One problem on alternating series. In alternating series, usually we apply Leibniz test. See, I explain how to apply the Leibniz test here. It is given series is sigma minus 1 raised to n minus 1 Vn, where Vn is log of n plus 1 upon n. N is equal to 1 to infinity. Because 2 you will get minus 3 by 2. 4 gives 3 gives 4 by 3 plus. So it is in terms of our notation, sigma minus 1 raised to n minus 1 Vn. Vn is log n plus 1 by n. First you have to write the given series in the form of sigma minus 1 raised to n minus 1 Vn. What is Vn? The convergence or divergence depends on this Vn. Vn is log n plus 1 by n. First of all, take Vn plus 1. Vn plus 1 is log n plus 2 upon n plus 1. Now we consider Vn plus 1 minus Vn. Vn plus 1 minus Vn. It is log n plus 2 by n plus 1 minus log of n plus 1 by n. What is the Leibniz test? Leibniz test is if that Vn is monotone decreasing and Vn tends to 0 as n tends to infinity, then the series sigma minus 1 raised to n minus 1 Vn converges. Now we are applying that one here. It is log of property of logarithms n plus 2 by n plus 1 into n by n plus 1, because log u minus log v is log of u divided by v, divided by n plus 1 by n is n into n plus 1 by n, multiplication. Log n square plus 2n upon n square plus 2n plus 1, it is less than 0. Less than 0. Why it is less than 0? This is less than 0 for all n, because denominator is greater than numerator means log of that is less than 0. Example, log half. What is log half? Log half is log 1 minus log 2. Log 1 is 0. 0 minus log 2, it is positive. So, if the numerator is less than denominator, log of that quantity is negative. Less than 0 for all n. This implies Vn plus 1 is less than Vn for all n. Hence, sequence Vn is monotone decreasing. Monotone decreasing. Sequence Vn is monotone decreasing. Also, limit Vn n tends to infinity is limit n tends to infinity of what is Vn? Log n plus 1 upon n. Log of n plus 1 upon n. It is equal to limit n tends to infinity log of 1 plus 1 upon n. N tends to infinity, it is log 1. Log 1 is 0. Both the conditions of Leibniz test are satisfied. What is first condition? Vn is monotone decreasing. Second, limit Vn as n tends to infinity is 0. Therefore, that sigma, what is that? This minus 1 raised to n minus 1 Vn is convergent, and by Leibniz test it is. And you try to solve some exercises that I have already given. If you have any difficulties, you don't hesitate to ask. You are very free. Feel free to ask your difficulties. Okay, thank you.